Nice! Welcome, welcome! There may not be much left, but feel free to take a look. I suppose that is fair, considering the sorry state of affairs here. Most of what is here is just scrap and forgotten things. It certainly does now. Besides, I pay a reasonable sum to Fior for any sales I make. I'm not a parasite. Yes, I am profiting on the side, but surely this is better than everything here being wasted, hmm? You expect me to do such a thankless job for nothing? Utter nonsense! Now, do you wish to see my wares or not?
First, my wife runs off to paradise, and now this. Not one for talking right now. On top of everything else going on, now I can't get this blasted equipment to work. I couldn't tell you. It's just that the, fluid doesn't line up with the tubey things or whatever. Oh, sure, thanks. I hope you can find something I didn't.
Worth and rot!
Take your best shot. Nice shot! Another one! Not bad, Marius.
Hello, my friend. Still having trouble with this old equipment. Oh, what happened? I guess my eyes aren't what they used to be. Thank you, my friend. I can fix it from here.
Right behind you.
Worth and rot!
One for you! Everybody all right?
Worth and rot!
Where's my mark?
Worth and rot!
Let's see what you got.
Worth and rot!
Oh!
worse than rot!
What's the target? Come and get me! Hey! Over here!
Is anybody there? Who's there? Somebody help!
Seek!
To your left!
Worse than rot! Worse than rot! Worse than rot! Worse than rot! Worse than rot!
Let's see what you got! Nice job!
Worse than rot!
really don't think you can deny that everything wrong in Fior obviously comes from using animancy.
We don't use animancy on our farms and dodge. Our farms start trying to kill us.
Next one's mine.
What do I tell Sovia? What do I tell the children? It's not bad enough that their mother a little earlier and you'd have beaten the other bandits to my crops. But I guess that's on you, isn't it? I left the whole pile right here. Enough food, good food, safe food, to get us through the next few months. I went inside just for a moment. The bandits took everything. This was probably her last harvest. There's not a damn thing left to eat. Like thieves. They're not from around here, I know that. They had a few elves among them. I've got no problem with elves, but they looked rough. Like they weren't civilized. You know, bandits. So I won't count on getting my crops back. I see how it is. Well, if you're following the river, be careful going north. The bandits ran that way. I bet they've got a camp up there. Can't imagine what else they've stolen. They're probably living like kings, while the rest of us starve. Gods, this place isn't what it used to be.
What I said. We only have so much to go around.
Are they any man who started as well? Or are they sipping tea?
Take it up with the governor. I don't make the rules. Go home.
You're the first godlike to come through in... well, I can't remember how long. I hope that's a good sign. Some believe the gods have abandoned Emerald Stair, and yet here I am talking to one of their offspring. If the gods don't bless us with a harvest soon, this market will be empty come winter. We have a few trinkets, but our stock has been low on account of the recent troubles. If you have coin to spare, take a look at what's left. There should be more once the harvest comes.
No cutting in line. I was here first.
Godlike.
You showed up at a bad time. Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giatta's about to tear that poor man a new one. It ought to be quite a spectacle. When Giatta digs her claws into a grievance, she doesn't let go. She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancer's fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giatta's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last. The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to learn some local curses.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when Animancers fight.
Ah, the Emperor's envoy. Inquisitor Ludwig said you might be heading this way. Captain Alfair of the Steel Garrote. If you're here to speak with Vidarro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy. Good. Perhaps he will listen to you. I am not fashioned for statecraft. Still, I think the governor is too stubborn to be persuaded even by the Emperor's finest. When diplomacy fails, the Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adiran interests. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
Can I interest you in some glaveberries or Barrett's bells, perhaps? Welcome to Poria in Velino, the finest legitimate apothecary of Emerald Stair. 5 summers ago, business was thriving. But now charlatans are selling crystals and essence enlargers in the streets. Add rumors of Dreamscourge and everyone is buying from these swindlers. At least you've come in. I know, I wish they'd trust my expertise. But with medicine, there are no easy answers. At least I don't have to convince you. All ingredients. Ingredients are fully stocked.
Listen. Kai, I need you to stock... like a cat, not stomp around like a Balrog.
My training was a lot bigger on stomping than stalking, unfortunately.
Right.
Welcome back!
At all godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the living lands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. So return to me if you have any to claim. Auret Auguri. I hope to see you soon. Oh, the Trentons. A bunch of butsos, if you ask me. But they are dangerous, I'll admit. Watch yourself out there. Oh, those poor souls. Please bring them peace, Aimika. Becoming part of a blight is not a fate I would wish upon my worst enemy. Be careful with old Nuna. I have a theory that her longevity and hardiness are due to an inordinate suffusion of essence. Ah, those Delamgan. They are not evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, ne?
Come on. My invention is guaranteed to enlarge your essence.
Powerful, self-aware, and reach within.
Insight, you say?
Indeed. The spirits have access to lifetimes of knowledge.
A little knowledge would do me.
If you are looking for sanctuary, you have found it. The Gifted Magpie is a house of calm, rational discussion. We have only 2 rules of conduct. Maintain dignity and speak in a soft tone of voice. Cloves, cinnamon, and anise are just a few of the remedies that help foster a peaceful environment. Animancers are miracle workers, but their work breeds obsession, rivalry, and bitter disagreement. Regrettably, we are out of tea. My stockpile is exhausted, and the harvest has not kept up with demand. We have other goods for sale, if you care to peruse them. Trinkets I have collected over the years.
I have been thinking about them.
to get.
You startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead. I will gladly accept any punishment deemed appropriate. It's the least I deserve. The dead of Fior expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry. Exactly the case. With everything happening and my own advanced age, I have had trouble keeping up. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone. They bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
That could very well be true. But however it works, neglecting the ritual clearly has had dire effects for Fior. Do it for whatever reason you like, as long as it gets done. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. Loggers from the old days, they sacrificed themselves to make the land habitable and lost their lives to creatures of the untamed forest. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. They buried the bodies of settlers there, intrepid sorts that tried to tame the farther reaches of Emerald Stairs wilds. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fior, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. That is the least of my worries. But yes, bringing closure to the recent dead will finally allow me a good night's sleep. I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
Giatta, what's the meaning of this? Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, Amica. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late. Is that... Gelarde? This is star metal. Very rare stuff. Where did you get this? Nay, don't tell me. I'd be tempted to go looking for some more, and that would certainly not end well. No. Unfortunately, I don't know how to work the metal into anything useful. Only enchanted. I did receive a shipment from Sola's Keep recently, however. A mace, crafted out of star metal, brought to me by a trader from Galawain's Tusks. I suggest you make your way there if you're looking for someone to work that beautiful metal into a proper weapon.
Galawain's Tusks? Come on, it can't be that complicated. I bet you 5 skates a Smith and Thirdborn would know what to do with this stuff. And I'll take your money eventually.
Is there anything else I can help you with, Amica? Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, Amica.
Careful, or we'll get thrown out of the pub.
We're already thrown.
Really? Huh. When did that happen?
Can't say as I remember.
I had one job. What?
Pour you a drink, godlike?
The crops ruin.
Can anything be done?
Bly thinks I ought to give up farming, leave Emerald Stair.
Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The Animancers never know when to shut their mouths. You can't take a piece in the fjord without spotting an Animancer. But finding an Animancer you can trust, that's harder. I try Quilici and Giatta. They are the only Animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously. You see this pub? No one here is an Animancer. We are Fior's labor. Rangers, farmers, and the sentries. We've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terror stalking the wilderness day and night. Although I admit Fior is in a bad way, Dream Scourge or not, we've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Anything I can get you? Welcome back, envoy.
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? I'm not drunk. I'm worried. And who are you to bother me anyway? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. Merla, I'd pay anything at this point.
My 2 youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Praise Ilia. Their names are Belena and Adalaro. I doubt they'll be apart. They were good rangers once, but since they've caught each other's eye, all they do is sneak off to... Oh, fine. Get right to it, then.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and What they're doing is their business, but rangers have to come when they are called. Wait, gods, you're relentless. The point is, they've never been gone this long. The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
2 young Nemdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. You know what I mean?
How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike? My reputation precedes me.
It was more the sound of your voice that preceded you.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Seems more likely you'll have to punch some sense into him.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion. Of course. The Adiran envoy. Ambassador Hilgard sent a missive telling me to expect you. How delightful. You speak with a measure of authority, but I caution you to remember who's in charge around here.
Now that's what I call a first impression. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms. Indeed. We were fighting the Dream Scourge before it even had a name. I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
Thank you. It's good to see some sense around here for once.
The time for caution has passed. The failure of our crops will demand swift action.
Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Giatta from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark. I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell her about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart. If I don't have your trust, I am determined to earn it. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Mes Ivèrno.
Whoa, you're banishing her for that?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast. Perhaps, but I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Mes Ivèrno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west, by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedrock.
That did not go as I had planned. I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giatta, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego. Because they're cowards. To them, I'm just a cautionary tale. A fallen animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Mes Ivèrno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone. Most of us would be better off without tyrannical bureaucrats. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long. Straight to business then. I can respect that. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast. I hope so, because we're running out of options. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fior. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
You ever think, what if I wasn't?
I have to do something. I can't let anyone else discover this. Envoy. I'm sorry. I'm not in a place to talk right now. You don't understand what I've been dealing with. Yesterday, I made an incredible discovery. We can use half as much Adra to achieve the same results. And then I thought, what if one day it's a third, a quarter, a speck? If anything, my colleagues are not taking it seriously enough. It's too much power. Who knows what kind of chaos we'll create? I have been reading Athelmir's treatise on Wotica. Perhaps she's right. Maybe animancy should be reined in. How can I? All right. I'll do some more tests and see where they lead me. But I won't publish anything until I'm absolutely sure.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
This again. You're beginning to sound like Giatta.
Have you ever stopped and listened to me? She might be onto something.
I'm sure her mother and father are onto something, and look what happened to them.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop. Giatta, what a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked. Oh, I can, but it's a matter of getting all the necessary parts. What I need is a stronger power source. Copper allows greater power modulation through shaping, but Adra has the potential to store more essence. I could use a large single block of Adra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards. Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
If you can convince her to hand it over, I'll be more than impressed.
And I really love her.
Worth and Roth!
Good one!
Just like the good old days.
Oh, it's you. Leave me alone, all right? I'm not looking for trouble. Why? Are you gonna kill me too? Nope, my old friends already did a good enough job there. That damn fool Wolf with his head full of visions. When he wanted to resort to violence, I knew I had to leave. You did right. If a leader won't listen to reason, they can't be helped. I couldn't be part of that anymore. Easy for you to say. People always listen to you. Maybe one day you'll see a real lost cause. Then you'll understand. Good luck out there.
Envoy, over here. Good. You finally showed up. I was worried you weren't coming.
The name's Keeledge. Pleasure to meet you. Hilgard sent me to Emerald Stair to keep an eye on this place. I had orders to make contact as soon as you arrived. I won't talk long. He only wants me to let you know I'm here. If you need to get word to the ambassador, I'm your man. Depends on the day. Hilgard told me to blend in, observe, and contact you. Now, I think I'm just supposed to wait and report back in a few days. I'm worried about drawing attention from Ludwine's crew in the meantime. I think they're up to something. I suppose, but this seems worse than normal. I think the scale of their operation is dangerous. I don't think my superior will be pleased if I just run off. Good idea. I'll think of something. Thanks, Envoy.
Quiet, Nimdut.
Glad that's over. Coming in hot.
Up. Worth and run!
Work!
Eckworth and Roth!
Oh, no, you don't! Try that again! Everyone okay?
This is definitely part of some bigger thing we shouldn't mess with. So let's go find the rest of it. Stand back.
worse than rot!
Heal yourself!
Here it comes.
Nice!
Watch for spiders. Unseen, unheard.
I think worse than rot! I think worse than rot! I think worse than rot! Worse than rot!
Back on my feet.
I think worse than rot! I think worse than rot!
Well, that was fun. That storm map. I feel like someone in Solace could figure out what to do with that.
You know, I've heard dueling is popular in the Valian republics. You wouldn't think a public argument could feel as brutal, but I'll be damned if Giatta didn't draw blood. I wish I could say the same. Living Landers can be contrarian and combative. That's what sends a lot of us here in the first place. But it's still hard to swim against the tide with your own people, especially when it means getting them to face a hard truth. You make the wild sound downright peaceful by comparison. I'm impressed at anyone who can survive that, or break out of it, like Giatta. She knows who she is and what she believes. She's got more clarity and conviction than I had at her age.
She has more clarity than you have now.
Hey, I am a willing victim of my own delusions.
So, what kind of Korba would do something like that?
Hey, don't worry. We're talking about Giatta's situation.
Right. Like, what did you think I was talking about?
Anyway, this can't be an easy time for Giatta, but I'm glad to have her on our side.
Envoy? Well, that was interesting, right? The woman arguing about the crops failing? Standing up for what you believe against authority. I can respect that. Of course, my method would have been run away under the cover of night, never to return, but yeah, this works for her. Conflict, no. Consequences for my actions, oh yes. Anyway, there's clearly more going on here than a bunch of animancers sitting in dusty labs doing whatever they do all day. Beyond that, nah, I can't help you. Call me when you're back to facing real danger. Right, changing the subject. Thanks for talking.
The Adra stirs, a crackle of light in a withered field. You recoil. We are unsure what we said. Murmurs of madness, fright. Our touch cushions you like a shell. We wilt, we gnaw with hunger now. What has come of this place? A pack without a leader, a crown upon a shaking cub. We feel them. They bend and hone the essence of the earth. They draw from our veins like a well. What are these rituals? A fish crawls on its legs. A harvest grows. the dead rise? What do they hope to achieve? Lift the shroud from the wheel. They build walls in their hearts. Why do they not share what they make? Adir sleeps across the sea. You're not troubled by the laws of Kith. What do you say? Fire that burns the forest feeds the soil with its ash. We have learned much. Dream of soaring wings in your repose.
Worth and wrath! Worth and wrath! Then!
One for you! That's one for us.
Worth and wrath!
Watch yourselves.
Worth and wrath! Worth and wrath! Then!
Next one's mine. That's more like it! You're too late!
I think I sprained my shoulder.
Worth and wrath!
Come and get me.
Worth and wrath! 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 Worth and rot! Worth and rot! Worth and rot!
Feels like some of these plants have it out for us.
Worth and rot!
I was just getting warmed up.
Worth and rot!
Next one's mine.
Worth and rot! I think worth and rot! I think worth and rot! Ben!
Get me!
I think worth and rot!
Take a moment, people.
Worth and rough!
Let's go.
Didn't stand a chance.
Worth and rough! Worth and rough!
Give me a target. Let's see what you got.
That tower is for Fior's Rangers. It's where they stand around and argue about the best route to Shatterscarp.
Get the beacon dry. Fresh wood and tinder. We may need it.
I'm not climbing up there. The tower's barely standing.
That tower is a clear view of the mountains, the city, and the sea. You're defending your life.
Listen, we'll get to the bottom of this. Not sure how, but we'll get there.
contagious.
Considering it infects plants and animals and people, not necessarily an adequate guess.
I agree that this is important, Massoni. But if we don't focus on hunting, people will starve.
How is a potential murderer in our ranks not your top priority? You don't think it's real, is that it? You think I'm jumping at shadows?
One moment, please, Envoy. We were just finishing.
You've got to be kidding me.
I'm not saying it's impossible, Massoni. Only that more immediate dangers require our attention. We'll talk about it later.
Meanwhile, someone's tearing us apart from the inside.
It says something that I don't even have the energy to be offended by that. Oh, and as for leadership, you're looking at it. Such as I am.
Come on, there's no need for that. I know I give you a hard time, Iscern, but you're doing your best.
My best hasn't been good enough. And now 2 good men are probably dead. We've suspected the killer among our ranks for several days, but there hasn't been time to investigate.
There hasn't been time? A traitor in your ranks is serious.
I told you I'll do it.
And lose my best hunter to whatever might have taken Monato and Verano? Absolutely not. I cannot risk you, Massoni. We've had to redouble our hunting to feed Fior, and the bandits in Xaurips are running us ragged. Every ranger we lose brings us closer to starvation. Several of my people are beginning to think that as well, particularly Massoni here. But if that's true, to what end?
My gut's never wrong, Envoy.
I used to think that. Then I ate a bad batch of twig rat stew and had to re-examine everything I thought I knew.
2 of our best, Monato and Verano, have failed to report back. Neither of them would fall easily to creatures they faced 100 times before.
Monato is the most skilled tracker we have, and Verano is our most accomplished archer.
I've heard of Monato. He hunted the Black Padfoot a few months back. That thing was impossible to track, but he did it.
You really think one of their own would betray them?
The only threat they wouldn't be prepared for would come from someone they trust.
As if that weren't enough, my rangers spotted a stranger near town this morning. They kept to the shadows, wearing some kind of mask.
Tell her about Durso and Casagrada.
All right, Envoy, if you really want to get involved. 2 of my rangers have been acting strangely since the others disappeared. Rangers Dorso and Casagrada.
That's a powerful accusation to make. I know you rangers are a tight bunch.
Would they really turn on their own brethren?
Both are good people, but they're connected with my missing men. And they haven't been particularly forthcoming. I've moved Dorso and Casagrada to posts just outside Fior. I haven't explained why, but Dorso's probably figured it out. Speak with them, and follow any leads they might turn up. I'm still not convinced either of them is a murderer, but...
It's better to be sure.
I'm sure Massoni here will be waiting with bated breath. Watch yourself in the wilds, Envoy. And Godspeed.
I can't think of much worse than turning on your squad, except having to suspect your own people. We should help them.
Agreed.